This is so intense, giving you life, it's giving you vibrance, it's giving you, I will march on. How is it possible for video game music to manipulate our emotions so much? A piece like Battlefield 5, Under No Flag, is a prime example of using instrumentation to manipulate us into feeling a wide assortment of emotions. You ask yourself, why does this move me so much? Why am I moved by a song that has such an inherent feeling of pain in it? And I think it's because we hear loss in this music. We hear a sense of emptiness, a sense of departure, a sense of youth long gone, a sense of being forced to mature sooner than anticipated. That's just the cello, right? That's not anything complex here. And yet, even in the first couple seconds, we can invoke a natural sensation of parting, of losing oneself, of moving on. It plays like a lacrimosa, a somber reflection as you look out into the distance, and you are left with this incredible feeling of emptiness, thinking about people that were alive that aren't, love lost. There's a million options in the context of our emotions that we can pull from when a piece like this plays. Why does this theme do such a good job of doing that? Well, it's emotionally manipulative, of course. Hearing strings go yoro, yoro, somber. It almost feels like the cello's whispering, saying something in a hushed tone. Now that's also something so incredibly simple, but incredibly delicate, and I want to draw it to your attention because it's worth paying attention to. Listen to the way that we have these two sets of string instruments, whether they be a viola, violin, cello, but listen to the way the harmony plays here. Yara. We have a sustained cello line, and we have the violins or the violas going up. And it's something so simple, and yet that little harmony there can cause such a wave of emotions, even from just a simple little musical gesture, very basic stuff. And yet we are forced into this feeling of inherent, like, oh my God, it feels like we've given up on everything, right? It feels like we've lost something. That's powerful stuff. This is genius. I actually looked it up because I swore that Under No Flag was actually a pre-made song that wasn't for Battlefield 5. I've played a lot of Battlefield 5. It's a very good game. And I do think that the war stories highlight the realities of war in a really respectful way. I can't say the same for something like Call of Duty Vanguard. So when you hear this, I think of, oh Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses falling. It's you must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, and all my valley warmer, sweeter be. And I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh Danny boy, I love you so. It's basically the same, but the way that we get manipulated here You hear the way that the melody flows. Da da ya da 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 ya da ya da 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 ya da da bo da ya da da da. Something about that and the way that it spins and it moves, the solo instrument wrapped in the embrace of the cello and the violins and the strings, that causes this feeling of a warm blanket of like a singular person reflecting on their life, or a singular person reflecting on the journey that they've just been on. It's unmistakable how manipulative that is emotionally. Now it's extremely different, right? Because now we have the drums. And the drums do symbolize that patriotic, warlike movement. They symbolize the marching. We've seen these images hundreds of times in our history classes. We understand and know that those drums, that snare drum, is connected to the idea of war. Notice the way that we repeat this melody, and yet now we have the horns underneath that are in harmony with that melody. The strings are still there, but now there's an added layering to all of this. That's the pride. That's the we've got this. And the horns there. Let's reflect a little bit on this galvanizing section here. This is so intense. It's so giving you life. It's giving you vibrance. It's giving you, I will march on. I will not be defeated. I will not be stopped. I will not surrender. I mean, that's pretty obvious to me. I hope it's obvious to you. If not, that's why I'm here. Marco Meatball, a YouTuber who loves to analyze and discuss video game music from an emotional perspective. And that's what this is. This is all about manipulating our emotions and using our emotions as weapons so that we are engaged with the story at hand. And do you know why that feels more intense? It's more intense because of doubling. We had literally the first half of this was just with the flute, whatever kind of flute that is. When you add doubling, the meaning of the melody becomes doubled. Literally doubling and making it so that the orchestra is repeating it simultaneously what that solo instrument is saying. That causes an inherent increase in the feeling of excitement, in the feeling of understanding that emotion. It's a very powerful tactic that's used to deliver that feeling of emotion home to you. I hear it once, I feel really energized. I feel somber. I feel at once we split my voice into two here if my editor is really, really cool. And all of a sudden you hear how the impact of what I'm saying means more because there's 2 or 3 of me saying the exact same thing. That'd be awesome if Nathan could get that in. Point is, that's the excitement there. Let's fast forward here to the end. Do you feel how we return back to that somber quiet? We are bookended in this piece by solitude, and that is beautiful, and it's meditative in a lot of different ways. If you like this sort of stuff, there's more videos on the channel. Feel free to like, feel free to subscribe, feel free to support me on Patreon directly. I really appreciate it. As always, thanks a ton, and I'll see you on the next video.